Hillary Clinton emails reveal France, U.S. looted oil and gold in Libya. New emails published by the U.S. Department of State reveal the real motives behind the international invasion of Libya. The new emails of Hillary Clinton reveal that the real reason behind the invasion were primarily the country's large gold and oil reserves, and the extension of French influence in North Africa. The U.S. State Department has published a series of emails that reveal the volume of gold reserves of Gaddafi. According to the documents, the reserves are so great that they could become the basis for creating a pan-African currency, which, in turn, could compete with the dollar in the region. Also, the reasons for invasion were identified as the major oil reserves of Libya and the strengthening of French influence in North Africa. However, in 2011, Western leaders welcomed the overthrow of the Gaddafi regime as a democratic step. Long live Benghazi, long live Libya, long live the friendship between France and Libya, said French President Nicolas Sarkozy. You showed the world that you can overthrow the dictator and have chosen freedom, said the Prime Minister of Great Britain David Cameron, speaking to the Libyan people. The people of Libya got rid of a dictator. Now it has a chance, claimed the U.S. Vice President Joe Biden. In the past 5 years, the violence and chaos in Libya has not stopped. In the background of this, Islamic State is gaining momentum in the country and has captured new territory. In January 2016, dozens of people were killed as a result of terrorists. The email to Clinton is confirmed by the results of studies that began to appear after the invasion of Libya, organized by France with U.S. support. Major oil reserves of the country were the main reason for invasion. Dictators lead many African countries, but the West is in no hurry to intervene in each of them. The U.S. administration from the beginning was guided by rather naive misconceptions on the actions that needed to be taken to resolve the situation in Libya after the war. Newly declassified emails belonging to Hillary Clinton reveal some new possible motives behind the intervention in Libya. The latest batch of correspondence released by the U.S. State Department containing information over the threat posed by Gaddafi's gold reserves. The documents say they could have been used to establish a pan-African currency able to compete with the dollar in the region. Libya's large oil reserves and protecting French influence in North Africa were also cited as reasons to invade. However, back in 2011, Western leaders were hailing the overthrow of the Gaddafi regime as a victory for freedom and democracy. You showed the world you would get rid of a dictator and you would choose freedom. The United States is committed to the Libyan people. You have won your revolution. People of Libya have gotten rid of a dictator, and guess what, they got a chance now. Transcripts of a phone conversation between Muammar Gaddafi and the former British Prime Minister Tony Blair in 2011 show the Libyan leader warning that extremists would start a war in the Mediterranean if he was deposed. Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi said that his country played a major role as a refugee barrier between North Africa and Europe. There were millions of refugees, Gaddafi said, who were looking to cross into France and Italy, and that Libya's role in security for the whole of Western Europe was huge. Words which can now be described as a prophecy considering that migrant crisis of the old world. Now it has been revealed that just a week prior to that interview, Gaddafi sent a far more stern and even more prophetic message to his old friend former British Prime Minister Tony Blair. As Libya was scorched by the flames of civil war, he told Blair that Al-Qaeda laid down sleeping cells in North Africa. The sleeping cells in Libya was similar to the dormant cells in America before September 11. They, meaning jihadis, Gaddafi said, wanted to control the Mediterranean and then they will attack Europe eventually. Certainly ISIS was not even born then. However, Gaddafi may have foreseen its rise with those statements. It's unclear how Blair reacted to them, but that conversation itself only happened because the two were known to have developed a friendship since leaving the office in May 2, 1997 to June 27, 2007. Mr. Blair had visited the Libyan leader at least 7 times. In fact, these 2 phone calls were Blair's attempts to warn Gaddafi of what was about to happen. Blair said in that phone conversation, if you have safe place to go, you should go there because this will not end peacefully. And 2 weeks later, on March 19, 2011, Britain fired its first rockets on Libya, and we all know what happened later. Months of military operation resulting in the eventual overthrow of Gaddafi and his headline stealing death, as well as the plunge of Libya from a country with strong social welfare system to the land still torn by civil war now.